I'm a mom of 3 boys. I run multiple businesses. I run my own household. And generally, I have a lot going on. Would you consider dating me or even having me as a life partner? That's a very critical question because on today's episode, we're going to be talking about relationship goals. And we're going to be highlighting the lives of the amazing Tuface Idibia and Annie Macaulay Idibia as well. Now we're not going to be highlighting them from the perspective of y'all social media folks. I'm going to be taking a more critical approach into what we're supposed to be looking at when we go into these extended relationships with people who have a past, who have extended baggage, or who just have a whole lot going on. Don't forget, if this is your first time here, welcome to my channel. My name is Dr. OJ, the Med Spa Professor. Don't forget, subscribe, turn your notification on, like, share, comment on this video. Let me know what your thoughts are on relationship goals based on the parameters that we set today. This episode is brought to you by the one and only amazing HD Pro Global Beauty Career Institute and Body Med Spa. For more information on all of their services, training, certification, master classes, and business-in-a-box opportunities, go to the website hdproglobal.com. And don't forget, once again, to thank us after you get the amazing deals they have to offer. I will be right back. It's relationship goals.
Yeah. Oh no, oh no. She's old, yeah, yeah, yeah. So many of us got what to say, but we don't have the means, but we can listen, yeah. Things that we sharpen our vision, yeah, oh yeah. Negativity getting out the way, by listening to us that we bring life, yeah. Plus it's like the voice of an angel, yeah. Dr. OJ, visionary, extraordinary. That burning like giving joy to the helpless. With it in bringing life to the dream. That's all we, yeah. Ruby, and Sammy, and she's, oh yeah. Transforming one life at a time. With the best voice that you have. Dr. OJ, keep on speaking for us. You're the voice you want to hear.
Alright, so it is relationship goals again. Annie Idibia Tuface edition. So we're just talking about vulnerability. So no, wait, let me backtrack, okay? Because when we talk about these celebrities and their relationships, just because they are public figures, we tend to take a very critical and harsh approach towards them. And I feel like we need to be more empathetic towards the situation that people are dealing with, given the circumstances that surround their lives. So when it comes to Annie Idibia and Tuface, I just look at it this way, that there are certain things that I would want to ask them if I had the opportunity to sit with both of them. Like with Annie, of course, I would want to ask her as far as vulnerability and her emotional stability. Does she feel secure in that relationship? Because of course, given some of the past, present, and maybe future issues they're going to have in front of the whole wide world, a lot of times someone's reaction to scenarios often comes across as them lacking certain things. So now, for you going into a relationship with someone who is a public figure, who has a lot of baggage, and with whom you have a lot of history, one of the things that you should be looking at is vulnerability. How vulnerable are they with you? And when we talk about vulnerability, I'm not talking about mushiness and all of these things. It's just really being candid and open and honest with you about the real, let's just say the real of the situation. For example, baby mama number 1, baby mama number 2, I still have a relationship with this person for X and Y reasons. Those are conversations that can be had between two people who are extremely vulnerable with each other, to be honest about their feelings and how it's going. And that allows them, that openness actually removes every type of, it demystifies any type of suspicion from the other person. I don't know, I could be wrong. Like I say on these topics, right? These are just my own thoughts and opinions. They're not verdict, or they're not sermon, or they're not gospel. All right, let's talk about that. So vulnerability, emotional stability. How emotionally stable is your partner? if you're going to go into a relationship with someone who has had multiple exes, you have to check and recheck again their emotional standpoint. Like, how solid are they? Have they healed from past relationships? Are they still emotionally connected to all of those people? Do they have some type of, I don't want to repeat the word emotional stability, but that's the only thing. But let me just use emotional intelligence, right? Have you cross-checked the level of emotional intelligence when it comes to that thing that you guys are talking about, the relationship? And of course, you guys know that emotional intelligence just spans beyond relationship, right? It really gives you a holistic audit of someone's state of mind, being, self-awareness, and all of those things. So emotional stability and vulnerability is very important with two partners, especially when we are both in the limelight and there's so many moving parts. So it's easy for one person to come across as what they're not, and for the other person to also be misinterpreted in their actions without giving the opportunity to explain. Of course, we know that when it comes to celebrities, we don't even give them a chance to explain themselves. We just jump in, see pictures, see videos, and start judging, and Twitter is blowing up, and everything is blowing up. But when it comes to relationships, I beg to differ that there's so much more to it than just the things that we see. All right, number 2, financial responsibility. How financially responsible are you now, guys? Listen, I'm not talking about a man taking care of a woman, even though that is the ultimate standard. I would never want to be in a relationship where I do not feel financially secured. And I say it again, I do not feel financially secured by my partner. But I am also not going to go into the situation completely helpless, damsel in distress position. No, that's not what we're talking about. Everyone has to come to the table at 100%. And I'm not saying make the same amount of money or have the same level of assets and things like that, but come at 100% of yourself. Whatever it is you're bringing to the table as a partner, make sure it is in full force mode and it's able to fully support the life that both of you have envisioned for yourself. Financial responsibility does not lean heavily on one person's sex, gender, race, ethnicity, blah, 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 blah. It actually is the full responsibility of both parties to make the money, keep the money, and multiply the money. It is the responsibility of both partners. That is what I believe. You could think differently. It's okay. It's up to you. But look, this is just me. Once again, Dr. OJ giving my own perspective on this thing called relationships. Guys, I will be right back to talk about some other things. But let me ask you this question. Would it be an issue for you to be with someone who has had multiple baby mamas or multiple baby daddies? Think about that, and I'll be right back. My name is Dr. Ohikosola Jinaru. I'm a beauty professional, med spa operator, franchise owner, and director of education at H3 Pro Global Beauty Institute and Body Med Spa. As a mother of 3 boys and immigrant business owner, it is important for me to have a steady and sustainable source of income that transcends economic, government, or public health uncertainties and instability like the global pandemic we are still recovering from. That is why H3 Pro Global has created multiple systems that allows my team and I to train, educate, certify, and establish independent med spa operators like us all over the globe. For more information, check out our website to attend a free webinar to get started on your path to continuous success, no matter what is going on in your part of the world. I cannot wait to meet you. Thank you. Welcome back, guys. Yes, welcome, 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 welcome. So I asked the question before I went on the break. Would you be okay with being with someone who has multiple baby daddies or multiple baby mamas? And I say multiple, that means more than one baby daddy or more than one baby mama. So I have 3 kids by the same individual. I don't think I fall into that category. But even for me, with my situation, I look very carefully at the suitors that come my way. I inspect their background. I inspect those extended, extra baby mama things. I do. I honestly do. And if it's going past one, honestly, I get a little, in fact, I get a lot gun shy. Let me just be honest with you. I get a lot gun shy because for me, I think priority about my kids, about the impact that that type of relationship is going to have on my kids, and all of the extra things that I'm going to have to sort of maneuver through to really incorporate that family situation together and give stability to myself and my kids. So not to say it's bad or good, but I would personally rather not. I can be with someone who's been in maybe similar situation as I have been, married, divorced, widowed, kids are in the picture, but when it goes beyond one baby mama to, I'm sorry, Dr. OJ, personally, I can't deal. Not that it's bad, not that I'm criticizing or judging, but I mean, what do you think? Would you do it? I don't know. Anyway, that's just a side note. Like I said today, we're highlighting the lives of amazing Tuface Idibia and Idibia. Lovely couple. Absolutely love them as artists and entertainers. As far as their personal life is concerned, I'm not even in the know at all. I'm just kind of creating this discussion around the things that I have gathered through research and popular social media discuss. All right, moving on. So when it comes to relationship goals, extended family saga. Extended family saga can be a beast. It can be something that really troubles. I know when we talk about African culture, you marry the man, you marry the family. I absolutely have no problem about it. I love family. I come from a very big family myself. But I come from a big family that understands boundaries. So for me to go into a situation where the extended family does not understand boundaries, it's going to be an issue. Dealing with a family is, when you get married, yes, you're not marrying the one person, you're marrying the family, but the extended side of that should be broken apart or separated with that fence where it says nuclear, then the extended. And there's ways where the interactions sort of intertwine and they mix, but there's definitely a lot of your life that should be shielded from the extended part. That's what I believe. Even for me as a single mom, I still operate with that simple philosophy. I keep my children and I in a bubble, and we intertwine with my family as needed and as necessary, but there's parts of us that we keep sort of like it's spiritual to us. It's sacred. That's our place. So that place where my children and I exist for now, it's very sacred. And of course, there is the part where they interact with their grannies and their grandpas, and they interact with their uncles and aunties and all of that. I love that. That makes it all worth it. So for me, extended family saga I don't know about you. Like I said, these conversations need to be had when you are getting out there and getting that partner going and stuff like that. So being in the public eye definitely has pressures on relationships, right? It definitely has an impact or an effect or whatever you want to call it. Being in the public eye, being a celebrity, being an influencer, just being out there on some type of stage or the other puts you under some spotlight. And it also puts everything else that you allow to get out there in the same spotlight. So it's very, very difficult that when two people who are trying to be in a relationship or trying to be married and stay married and build a very genuine, long-lasting situation find themselves being scrutinized by the public. One thing I try to avoid is speaking on other people's relationships. But even though I try to avoid it, oftentimes it's really hard to stay out of the conversation, especially when you're doing a show like mine. You definitely get to chime in from time to time. And that's why I try to bring a more critically thought out process or thought out approach to my conversation. So how does being in the public eye impact your relationship? I feel like it definitely has an impact in you making mistakes and just being able to live it up and live it down, live it up and live it down. You just being able to be yourself. And that's why a lot of well, not a lot, a few select celebrities choose not to publicize their families, not as a result of being shy or not wanting to claim their significant other. I believe it's a tactic or a strategy to protect them from all of this scrutiny and all of the things, so you can make your mistakes and feel safe. You can fall down in your relationships and feel safe, and your partner can feel protected and your family can feel protected. But when you do choose the other option as to putting your entire family out there, understand that it comes with the territory. People are going to chime in. People are going to have an opinion. So you have to be able to choose your path carefully. For me, I've chosen a path in the public eye, and that is why I am extremely careful and I'm extremely mindful of my relationships and the types of relationships I do get into. Not to say I still don't goof off and make mistakes. Ooh, do I goof off and make mistakes? In fact, some of my mistakes actually allows me to think up some of these topics that I talk about on my show. So guys, listen up. Today's relationship goals, and we've talked about a lot of things, highlighting the life of Tuface Idibia and Annie Macaulay Idibia. Not to criticize or to talk about them in a negative light, but to pull some really cogent lessons from their lives and their journey so far to better educate us as a people and in our relationships as well. Like they say, when somebody falls in front of you, or when somebody's life plays out some type of way in front of you, it's a lesson for you to learn to see how to do it for yourself or how not to do it. So you choose and you pick which one works for you. Alright guys, until next time, this is Dr. OJ, the Med Spa Professor on Dr. OJ Speaks. I can't wait to see you back here next week. Don't forget, subscribe, turn your notification on, comment on this video, let me know what you think. Which of the topics that I discussed today resonates with you? What are your thoughts on the couple that we highlighted today? See you soon next week. I love you. Bye.